sixth arrival in the world's toughest row, Atlantic 2023.
Let's go, guys!
Seize the moment coming into the finish line.
Come on,
here in English Harbour.
Come on, Gary!
World's toughest row, Atlantic 2023. And these guys have been rowing what feels like non-stop for about 24 hours or more, rowing 2 up to try and get ahead of the weather system that is coming in. And I am astounded by how strong and how rhythmic they are. Game faces on.
15 meters, guys.
Every now and again we get a little smile out of them, but they are very, very focused in getting in tonight.
Come on! Keep it up!
As I say, we're in English Harbour, Antigua. These guys have been rowing 3,000 miles across the Atlantic, all the way from the Canaries in La Gomera. Live!
Almost there, guys! And that's it!
They have crossed the finish line in the world's toughest row.
Stop rowing! You done it! Yes! Yes, David! Well done!
Yes!
Yes!
One for the over 60s.
Yes, sir!
David's saying there, one for the over 60s.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. What an achievement.
Yes.
Seize the moment.
Fantastic stuff,
Have
guys.
arrived live into English Harbour here in
Let the horse
Antigua.
go, let the horse go. Now everything is
Get the rest of the hands.
After
You've done it.
70 days at sea.
Well done, guys.
They have shared this space on the boat.
Nice one.
7th out of our
Yeah.
8 pairs
This
teams.
is David and Gary. Welcome to Antigua.
Our 36th team, our penultimate team
Wow.
in the row this year.
Least but not last.
Least but not last.
3,000 miles. Well done, guys.
David Ferrier and Gary Hoyle. Age
Well done, guys.
62.
Well done.
David is 62 and he turned 62 3 days into the race, and Gary is age 60.
You guys are ready on the bucket? Too young.
A mere baby, as Gary said. Exactly. How are you feeling, guys?
Absolutely amazing. It's the most amazing experience that anybody could ever do in their lives. It's
Wow.
phenomenal.
I'm not sure if you heard that, guys, but David just said he feels absolutely amazing. It's the most amazing experience that you could ever do.
Look, even the proper seize the moment. Look at it. Doesn't get any better, does it?
Yeah, that bucket is going to go for a lot of money today.
It says seize the moment, and then their boat name, Molly Moo, is on it as well. Why have we called the boat Molly Moo?
She was my pet dog.
Ah,
I called her my pet dog.
named after David's
friend.
pet dog. Oh,
David and Pauline's pet dog.
David and Pauline's pet dog, Molly Moo.
Okay, guys. Pull out this.
Well done, Molly Moo, for getting them across the Atlantic.
I need to click.
And they both decided to retire from full-time employment last year. Rather than treat retirement as the end of an era or time spent dwelling on past achievements, they decided it was the beginning of the next big thing. And so they took the opportunity to row the world's toughest row. We'll find out a little bit more about their experience once they get into land. Before that, they're going to have a little celebration. I mean, these guys must be absolutely exhausted. They pushed really hard, like I say, to get in today ahead of the drastic change in weather that is occurring, with the winds going from favourable to confused and then blowing in all different directions between now and the weekend. They rode 2 up pretty much continuously for a day or so. And they still have the energy to celebrate this very moment.
Well done,
Yes!
guys! Woo! That's it, boys! Congratulations! You did it, guys! Well done! Great stuff, lads! Well done!
Yes!
Woo! You did it! Well done, lads!
Grinning from ear to ear, waving their flags and pumping their fists.
Phenomenal, kids!
So happy to be here.
That's right, guys! Great stuff! Yeah! Well done, lads!
It's been such a challenging row for the whole fleet this year. Challenging crossing for this team right from the start.
Yes! Woo! Oh, fantastic stuff, guys. Well done. Woohoo!
It wasn't just this tricky weather system that they've got coming in now. It's been ups and downs in weather conditions from the start. Our safety officers confirmed that it has been one of the most technically difficult weather years yet. With a tricky start in the early conditions, it saw them dealing with seasickness, 2 knockdowns within the first 24 hours at sea.
Congratulations, Gary.
And the pair noted that it was pretty horrible out there.
Animation's over.
So much so that they spent much of the first week on power anchor.
So what's going to happen now? The dinghy is going to come over and collect your passports, SD cards, cell phones.
And then while we were opening presents and stuffing ourselves with festive delights, David and Gary were fortunate to see a whale breach right next to the boat on Christmas Day. So you can imagine the morale boost that gave them after all the big seas they'd experienced in that first week. And then a day later, they saw another whale, a shark, and a dolphin, and were loving every minute of the experience. New Year's Eve actually saw them on a collision course with a sailing yacht, who didn't respond when they radioed to check if they were aware of the small rowboat that these guys are in. So the pair had to change their own course to avoid a collision situation. 1 week into January, they'd counted 6 vessels who they'd been on collision course with. And that can be quite unnerving because the rowboat doesn't move as quickly as a larger vessel. They often rely on the larger vessels to be the ones to do the moving out of the way. And then speaking of unnerving, David was washed overboard in the confused conditions mid-January. Kind of upset the process, made it a little difficult to get back going. They went on power anchor and reset and realigned themselves.
Hey, man.
And the wildlife, they also had a few marlin visits, checking out the fish under the boat, as they do. Thankfully, none of them struck the boat, as we've heard in previous years. And also this year, we've had two boats having marlin strikes who have already arrived. At one point, David nearly found himself face to face with the marlin, as he was due to jump in to clean the bottom of the boat. But a phone call from our head safety officer, Ian, saved the day. While on the phone with Ian, David noticed a dorsal fin around the boat. And sure enough, Gary, with the GoPro, confirmed it was indeed a marlin. I mean, it has me sweating just thinking about it. Needless to say, the barnacles on the bottom of the boat stayed put. Okay, so we're going to head in ahead of these guys. They're going to row themselves into Nelson's dockyard. I'll just give you a little look to see where that is, so you can see it's just ahead there with all the beautiful masts. Lovely national park of Nelson's dockyard. And then, like I say, they're going to row themselves in, so stick around, don't go anywhere. We'll keep the live going. It won't be long before they get in, a few minutes. Can't really say exactly how long. It depends on how fast they row. So stay tuned and we'll see you in a bit. Hello and welcome back to the world's toughest row, Atlantic 2023, for the arrival of Seize the Moment. David Ferrier and Gary Hoyle of Seize the Moment.
Give it up, big applause, big applause. Seize the moment.
The 7th of our 8 pairs team, our 36th boat, our penultimate boat in this year's race. Proudly coming into Nelson's dockyard.
Perfect. What a perfect landing, guys.
70 days at sea. They've shared this boat. They've ate, slept, and rowed on this boat without getting off for 70 days. They spent David's birthday, 3 days into the race. They spent Christmas, they spent New Year and Valentine's Day all on this boat. Their charity is the Great North Air Ambulance Service, providing air ambulance services in the UK, rescuing hundreds of severely injured or ill patients every year and bringing pre-hospital care to the scene. Like I say, these two both decided to retire last year and wanted to take on a pretty big challenge, something different, an opportunity to make new memories and making the occasion with an appropriate physical challenge, and they chose the world's toughest row.
Come on, David Gary, come on. 3,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean. Representing the United Kingdom, give it up again, make some noise. Yay! Gary and David! Family here and lots of beautiful young people. That can make a lot of noise. Would we like to see Team Norman step on land? Then we need to make noise. Would you like to see David and Gary step on land? Welcome to Team to be with wives, always emotional moments here at the dockyard. After more than 2 months across the Atlantic Ocean.
Now.
Unclipping.
Unclipping. Safety first, always. David and Gary, it's time to step onto the podium.
They have
And guys, if you could move over here.
Move over here. The boat at all times. Huge part of their safety requirements.
It was good.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here they are. After 3,000 grueling miles across the Atlantic Ocean, David and Gary seized the moment to start their journey December 13th last year. They are now here after 3,000 miles and 70 days, 20 hours, and 18 minutes. Kevinia here, fellow ocean rower, have the world famous I Rode the Atlantic t-shirts and the certificate of achievement from our adjudicator, Ocean Rowing Stats. Give it up for Gary and David. So guys, impressive I hear here in the back of me, and what an incredible journey you guys have had. The last 24 hours, nevertheless, also quite dramatic, especially a few hours ago where you were very close to land. You took the words we always say, get close to land and then around the corner, very seriously. You could hear the water splashing towards the rocks. Before we start talk about the start of the race, let us hear about the last 2-3 hours out there.
That was one of the most exciting parts for me, was the run up to the race, the excitement and the build up, all the teams, all the camaraderie between everybody sort of one spirit, definitely all wanting to succeed. So if I had to pick two highlights, it would be the start and the finish.
Let us hear a little bit about that in between the start and finish.
Yeah, well, before I say anything, so I just want to say from Gary and I, we just want to pass on our sincere condolences to the family and team members of Alistair. It really did, it affected us quite a lot, and but they've been in our thoughts ever since. And also to the Atlantic Campaigns safety team that had to break that news to the fleet of 23. And in particular, it was Fraser Molan that broke it to us, and his professionalism and the manner with which he delivered it was second to none. And then obviously we had the follow-up support as well. So it was, yeah, I just wanted to say that before we said anything else. So.
Beautiful words, and an applause for those words.
Yes, it was tough. I must admit the weather surprised us. We studied the race before we decided to take part. We trained heavy and thought we trained well, and we assumed we would have been able to do it in about 50 days, and not 71 or 72 days. It was a lot harder than anticipated, I must admit.
It is named the world's toughest row, and indeed it was tough. This year's race, compared to the last 10th race we have arranged across the Atlantic Ocean, the weather was incredible, confusing, and high seas right from the start. We saw blisters and saw bumps right from the beginning of the race. How was the first 10 days?
It was absolutely amazing. It was tough and rough, but that's what ocean rowing is about. The whole deal was just absolutely amazing. I could give you like an analogy of the race, and which would probably just blow your mind. But we've done everything, absolutely everything. And the way I liken the races is to if you went to a supermarket in La Gomera, Carston's supermarket, and bought yourself a tin of baked beans. So you look at the ingredients, and it's got beans and water and tomato sauce and all the rest of the goodies. And then it's got the instructions, so open it, that's a no-brainer, empty into the tin, warm for a few minutes, and you've got these nice beans. And then you're in the same supermarket, and you're walking around, and there's this big tin at the top, and it says Atlantic Campaigns, world's toughest row. So you look at it and you think, oh, right, okay, I might have a look at that. So you drag it down off the shelf, and it's got the ingredients, so you look at it, and beautiful sunrises, nice, hot, flat, calm seas, lovely days, amazing sunsets, moonlit skies that you've never even imagined before in your life. You've got wildlife, you've got sharks, dolphins, whales, you've got mahi, flying fish, and then you've got, a bit lower down, sores, tiredness, sleep deprivation,
In small letters.
Very small letters, yeah. But then you go to the instructions at the bottom, and then you see, and in the instructions it says, add 2 over 60-year-old northern boys, cook for 70 days, 20 hours and 18 minutes, a little overcooked by a while, but not to worry. But what you get out of it is this most amazing experience. The pair of us, we opened the tin, we did what it said, and we came out of it with absolutely everything. We saw everything. We've seen whales, dolphins, just seen the lot. It is the experience of a lifetime, all in a tin, from Carston's supermarket.
Incredible words, and you just basically wrote our press release. 70 days, lots of experiences out there. At one point you had a whale alongside some time ago. How was that experience?
We've actually had 5 whales. The first whale was quite surreal. I was sitting on deck rowing. David had just gone in off his shift, and I was just gazing out to the sea, and all of a sudden the wave sort of grew and grew. Then this whale beached, and I shouted to David. I said, "David, get your camera quick!" And I could hear him rustle inside the room, and just as he got out, you could see its tail flipping. So he missed it. So stupidly, I speeded up, thinking maybe I might catch it so he can have a look at it a little bit later, but I guess not. But luckily, he's seen 3 or 4 himself later on in the trip. But yes, the animals are amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it all here. We have followed you all the way for 70 days. Barry have kept us updated from Shark Baits on your socials. Ladies and gentlemen, these two incredible, inspirational men from the north of the UK have crossed the Atlantic Ocean in 70 days, 20 hours, and 18 minutes. Let's give it up and a big, big hip hip hooray before we do a live interview. Ladies and gentlemen, David and Gary, hip hip, hip hip, hip hip. Beautiful. Now we do a live interview on YouTube with Charlotte, and then you have a fresh meal and some drinks. And I'm pretty sure there are some boats further down here that will keep the atmosphere and energy up high throughout the night. But first, over to Charlotte.
Come on down here, guys.
All right, guys, we have a mark.
Just here is fine.
Prop each other up.
Yes, please do. Wow, I know we kept saying to you as you were coming alongside the island there, you're nearly there, guys. You're nearly there.
You're such a liar.
I was going to ask you, how did that feel to hear those words?
The problem we've had is the weather's been so indifferent this year that we were always getting to a stage where we thought we could push on, and the weather would intervene and would block it. So you started getting pessimistic about everything and questioning everything. So when somebody's saying nearly finished, you think, yeah, but there might be something else around the corner.
Well, there wasn't, was there?
No, there
Just
wasn't.
English Harbour, Dockyard, and a nice celebration. Yeah. Took you a little moment though to get in, which was, very good. That you guys were very rhythmic in the way that you rowed together. Clearly had some practice on the oars. There.
Yes, that's what 70 days does for you.
So tell us, what was your biggest challenge? Like, how did you get over it?
My biggest challenge was the length of time. Being away from the family for that length of time. I wasn't expecting it, and hit us hard. I must admit. Yeah, that was without doubt the hardest.
And yourself?
Sleep deprivation, maybe.
I don't know how because he kept falling asleep all the time, and I kept looking at him on the oars, and he had a bubbly head like this all the time.
Okay, so you've got your family, friends, and supporters back home watching. What would you like to say to them?
Just that I've missed them all the time. This was an adventure, and I did the thing to inspire them, to make them dream big. But what I also realised was that I need that sort of be part of their lives. So being away from them for 70 days is too long.
He's coming home soon, guys. Don't worry. He's
Definitely.
coming home soon. Anything that you'd like to say, Dave?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. So, for me, it's just been a massive adventure. I've been following this race for absolutely years, even pre-Carsten days, Woodvale days, and I always knew that one day I'd do it. I've done all sorts of adventure stuff, and I always get support from my wife Pauline. There, she's 20 years. She's supported me in everything I've done, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you very much indeed. Whilst the fish row, I thought it might be a good idea to go and learn to row. So I went to my local rowing club, Keswick, Cumbria, Lakeland Rowing Club, and on the learn to row course. And so they ask you, what are you doing? So I said that it was this, and they were just like, Don and Alex, the coaches, who are absolutely amazing. I think they just shook their heads, but they the whole weekend with me, and they turned me from something looking like Bambi on ice to resembling a rower. So the whole club's been amazing and supportive. But all our sponsors and partners, I can only thank each and every one of you. And we're raising money for the Great North Air Ambulance, which is a charity. It doesn't get any central government funding whatsoever. So every £5,000 that we raise for them potentially saves the life. It launches the helicopter. So potentially that's one person that sat around the dinner table next Christmas that wouldn't be there without this money. So that was my root cause, was to raise as much money as possible for them. But to everybody that's we haven't seen any of our socials at all, nothing. All the social campaign has been done by Sharkbait Socials, Barry, and everybody has told me that he's done an absolutely great job. So I hope everybody's enjoyed it. But yeah, when we do get a chance to have a look, it's probably going to be quite amazing.
Oh, he's done an absolutely cracking job. I can tell you that now. An absolutely grand job. Well done, Barry. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. It's now your time to have a nice meal and a comfy bed and a shower, no doubt.
I can have a shave the one, yeah.
And a shave. Oh, I don't know. It looks good on you.
You think? My wife says it's different.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy Antigua.
Thank you. Thanks, folks.
Yeah, let's give the guys a big applause.
Seeing Jamie, who came in yesterday. Wonderful stuff. So Gary and David have seized the moments, have come in with their Molly Moo. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. As I say, it is our penultimate team. We have one more team to arrive. Our 37th team are due in Saturday, the 24th of February, in the afternoon. Currently, that's what it says on the tracker. So as always, keep an eye on the YB Races tracker. If you haven't downloaded it, download it for the final one. Why not? Have a look for team for better or worse. It's our mixed pairs team, our only mixed pairs team in this race, and they will be coming in a couple of days. All being well, the weather out there is changing. It's doing a full circle on us, so hopefully it won't be too problematic for Danny and Mark. And we look forward to seeing you in just a couple of days. In the meantime, take care. We'll see you then.